Welcome everybody to another episode of the rebuild dynasty of the Vanderbilt Commodores and the Toledo Rockets. I am Johnny H, and as you know, I am the head coach of Vanderbilt. My best friend, Metal Mike, is the head coach of the Toledo Rockets, and for the first time, he is joining us on this episode. But before he does, I'm going to quick do the top stories of the week just to get that out of the way. Unfazed, Coach Roger Jolly says the team is ready for the next round after squeaking by Texas A&M at Caesars Superdome. Texas Tech beats Texas A&M 24-20 in the Sugar Bowl. Then there were four. After their most recent victory, the Tigers emerged as one of the four teams in all of college football. Clemson plays Michigan this week, number 7 versus number 9. Then there were four. A repeat headline. After their most recent victory, the Red Raiders emerged as one of the four best teams in all of college football. Number 11, Texas Tech, plays number 5, Miami, in the Orange Bowl. Fired up. Coach Greg Malone's fiery postgame speech goes viral after his Wolverines knock off Ohio State in the quarterfinals. The offensive player of the game was Michigan's running back, Donovan Edwards. He had 19 carries for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. And those are the top stories for Bowl Week 3 in 2014. So now that that's out of the way, I would like to welcome Metal Mike onto the show for the very first time. Welcome, buddy.
What's up?
How's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Excited to see who wins the national championship here, even though I lost in the first round of the college football playoff.
Hey, at least you made the college football playoffs, man. I lost the last week of the season, my chance. But since we mentioned the college football playoff, let's take a look at the bracket going into this week. And this week's matchups, the semifinals, we have number 4 Clemson taking on number 9 Michigan after they upsetted number 1 Ohio State 28-21. And what's even crazier is in the next bracket, number 11 Texas Tech, who beat number 3 Texas A&M in the Sugar Bowl, faces number 7 Miami, who upset number 2 Oklahoma State in the Fiesta Bowl. This is crazy. This is a playoff of upsets. 4 versus 9, 11 versus 7. What do you think about these matches, Mike?
Well, after getting beat by Clemson and knowing how good their defense was, I can definitely see them beating Michigan. And I think Texas Tech will get the upset over Miami. I think we're going to see Michigan, Texas Tech in the national title game.
Okay. See, I'm kind of thinking the exact opposite. I'm thinking Clemson and Miami. I mean, Texas Tech is the 11th seed. I mean, their luck's going to run out eventually. They got past number 3 and number 6, which is pretty impressive in its own right, taking down Georgia and Texas A&M, but I think Miami's going to have them. So you got Michigan and Texas Tech. I have Clemson and Miami in the national finals. We're going to eventually check and see who makes it there. But before we do, let's talk about our season. So let's go pull up on a team schedule. Let's pull up Toledo, and then you can talk about your season, give a recap, give your thoughts of it.
Yeah, so when we started the season off facing FCS Midwest, I thought that game was going to be a walk in the park. And it wasn't. I mean, this team surprisingly showed up. Their offense was on fire up until the last maybe 3 minutes of the game. When I went on defense on the last drive that they had the ball, I was able to stop them. UMass was just a back and forth game. Again, UMass's offense kind of just gave up towards the end as well. Mississippi State, I mean, 39-38 is the final. A close game with this team. I thought I lost this game, but it came down to me winning in the last second. I was down 38-36 at one point, and I believe I kicked the last second field goal on that one. Western Kentucky facing a ranked team at that point, beating them the way I did, 38-20, getting on a roll. I was screaming rank me at that point. Miami University, easy win. Buffalo, easy win. Northern Illinois, easy win. Then we get to Bowling Green in week 9, and they were a lot tougher than I thought they were going to be. That was another team that I had to score a last drive touchdown on to beat. Moved on to Eastern Michigan and beat them 55-20, getting on the roll here. By week 12, I believe I was ranked against Central Michigan, beat them by 10. Good game against them. The Ohio game, they were tough team to play. Their defense showed up, but squeaked out at the end. Then we got to Akron in week 14, and this is where I thought my rankings were kind of in jeopardy because I lost them by 10. Their defense was a heck of a lot better than I thought it was going to be, but yeah, I mean, they surprised me by beating me out the way they did with their defense. Going into the bye week for the conference championship against Kent State, I was like, man, you know, coming off that loss against Akron in the last week of the season, my momentum, my confidence was down a little bit. It picked up when I beat Kent State and securing my spot into the college football playoffs. And when I see my matchup against Oregon in the first round, I was like, man, you know what? This is it. They're the third-ranked team. You know, at least I made it. I'm still going to be in the rankings. Awesome. But they were easier than I expected they were going to be. Their offense couldn't get rolling worth of anything. And then we get to Clemson, and Clemson was just a little more tougher than I went into the Clemson game with a lot of confidence. A little too much confidence to the point where Clemson caught me on a slip-up. They intercepted the ball, I believe, twice on me, and that last interception was what sealed the deal against Clemson. And I was a little sad that I lost to Clemson, but not that upset due to the fact that I was just happy to be there and expecting to do much better in Season 2.
Yeah, man. As for Toledo, 13-2, 7-1 overall in the conference. The MAC champions, making it all the way to the Peach Bowl, beating Oregon, hanging in there with Clemson. I mean, you did really well for your first season, and they're only a 1.5-star team, so you killed it this year.
Yeah, and with the recruits that I recruited, I'm pretty excited with some of the recruits that I signed. If it's cool if I can get into that for a moment.
Yeah, go for it.
And I'm looking for my recruits. I don't see them here.
No, at this point, they're not there anymore.
So, once our recruits come back up, actually when we get into our rosters in week 2, that's when I'll talk about, because I know who I recruited when I see them. So I will talk about them when I see them, when we get to the rosters.
Okay. Sounds good. And I'm going to quick jump over to my schedule, and quick give a review. I went into week 1 against Virginia Tech. I honestly expected to beat them, but they showed up and pretty much took me by surprise. I was still learning my team. I was still learning my roster. You know, I was still learning my playbook. They ended up beating me 34-31. Next week against FCS Southeast, that basically went how I thought it was going to go. Georgia State went how I thought it was going to go. Missouri was my first real SEC test, and I didn't really know what to expect, but I ended up pretty much kicking their butts. And I was thinking maybe I could be ranked at that point, but I wasn't. Then I get to Alabama. I was a little nervous about this one because it's a big, bad Crimson Tide, and they handed it to me, 31-22. Kentucky was next, a rivalry game. Bounced back with that with a win, going 42-28. Ball State was another win. Then there was Texas. And I really wanted to win this game because it was an SEC rivalry against a big school, but I ended up losing 31-20. Auburn, the next game was Auburn, and this was crazy because I even told you, I even checked to see if you messed with me and changed the setting to freshman because I lost the week before, 119-7. And when I checked, it was still on varsity what we play at. I had 20 sacks that game against Auburn. I ended up injuring their quarterback in the third quarter. He never came back. And I don't know if I'll ever get a game where my defense and offense clicked like that before ever again, but I'll take it. South Carolina was next, followed that up with a big SEC win. Went into the bye, playing LSU after that. Another huge matchup. I'm ranked at this point. I was 22. I beat LSU 30-27. Then I move on to Tennessee, and this was the point where I was tied for first place with one or two other teams. There were like 3 other teams under me, a game behind. Basically, if I would have won this game, I would have went to the SEC Conference Championship. I controlled my own destiny, and the first half was all Vanderbilt, and it just fell apart for me in the second half. My line wasn't blocking for me. I was throwing picks, and it just did not go well. Ended up losing. I'm not ranked anymore because of it. But you know what? 8-5 with a conference record of 5-3. When my goal was to only win 4 games because the last 2 seasons Vanderbilt won 2 games. So I know my job is safe. Then I go to the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl against UAB. Another game, the first half I'm dominating, and the second half UAB just goes up on me. My line's not blocking, I'm throwing picks, and I'm thinking this is a repeat of Texas. In fact, I stated that a couple times in the episode. This is a repeat of Tennessee, This is exactly what happened against Tennessee. My team didn't show up in the second half. Ended up scoring a last-second touchdown, 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter, score the game-winning touchdown, and basically stole the Cheez-It Bowl or the Citrus Bowl from UAB. So I can't have complaints about it. I wish I would have won the SEC, but 8-5, it's a good starting point, I think, for the Commodores. I'm really looking forward to see what Season 2 has to bring for us.
Yeah, and, this season was a lot of fun. The excitement of this game coming out, first of all, after not having it for 10 years, it's a huge different pace than we get with Madden.
It's harder than Madden. It's not only faster, but the defense is so much more unforgiving than it is in Madden.
It's tighter. It's a tighter defensively played game.
The line doesn't block for you as well. It's really easy to throw picks in this game. It's a whole nother world.
So, and what I'm getting into with that was the expectancy, number one, of, you do something like this and you want to pick a team to build like we're doing. And then you get to that second level of, the players on your team. And you want to try and get your players to win awards. I didn't expect to have really any players up for any awards, let alone.
Well, let's get into that since we're talking about it. We'll hop right into the award winner screen.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, Player of the Year, arguably the best player in college football. He won the Heisman. Wide receiver Juwan Newton killed it.
Yeah, Juwan Newton was a really good receiver for me. He's a redshirt senior, which means I'm not going to have him. He's leaving, which means I'm going to have to find a new, WR1 to go to in Season 2. But he had a great season, and really happy I won the Heisman with him. At one point, I thought I was going to lose it to Will Howard because Ohio State looked like they were going to, do something special. Same with Cameron Ward from Miami and Jalen Milroe from Alabama. I thought I was going to lose it to one of those guys, but I was able to keep it up with Juan and really, just take away and steal the Heisman. I moved up and down the votes with him throughout the year, and I kept him up there between the 1 and 2, and really excited he walked away. But then to walk away with the Head Coach of the Year award.
Yes, that was awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. I was super excited to see that I got the Head Coach of the Year award.
You deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, I was locked in when I was 4-0. 4-0 was really the point where I was locked in and tried to really just take no prisoners. That was that. I went into every game like, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I scheme my defenses. I make sure that I try and time my offense at the right point because, like you said, you don't get the blocking that you do in Madden for your quarterback.
Yeah, that was my biggest problem, man. You know how many times one of my quarterbacks got free shotted at each game? That killed my drives.
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at the awards, defense was definitely my strong point. I mean, you go into the best defensive player of the year, Deshaun Holt. I led the nation in sacks with him. He led the nation in sacks, got defensive player of the year. Darius Alexander, my defensive tackle. I believe he finished in second place when it came to sacks.
He did.
And then Travion Ford finished in seventh place in defensive player of the year, and I believe he was in fourth or fifth place in sacks. So
yeah, he just finished ahead of my right outside linebacker Bryce Cohen, who was 8, and my other right side out linebacker Prince Khalid finished 10th. I mean, I wasn't anywhere close. Oh no, I lie. I was in the top 5. I didn't see my defensive tackle Devin Lee was there.
Yeah, but it didn't end there with my defense. You go to my backfield, Avery Smith, best defensive back, led the league led the nation in interceptions. Max and Hook finished in I believe third or fourth place in interceptions, my safety, and then Emmanuel McNeil Warrens. I mean, 3 guys each for those awards, which was really exciting.
Yeah. I was hoping my strong safety CJ Taylor would have crept up there, but at least he made the top 10. He had a good year.
Yeah, and when you get to the offensive side of the ball, I mean, Jaquez Stewart, my running back, he had a pretty good season. He didn't do as I expected him to do, but he was a good running back. Best
I know it's how you feel.
Yeah.
Cedric Alexander, I ended up benching him in the second half to McKillen Young because Alexander just was disappearing when I needed him.
Yeah, and you know this. I'm very big on my run game.
I know you are.
Running the ball, whether it's this or whether it's Madden, I love running the ball. But Larry Stevens, who's a junior, he ended up as the 4th best wide receiver in the nation. Definitely going to probably move to my WR1 spot after Juwan leaves.
I'm hoping when Newton leaves, Micah Bell can take that number 1 spot next year because he was by far my most productive receiver.
So, I mean, you get into these awards and you look and you see all the players that made it. Jeremiah Peters gets added on as best defensive end with Deshaun Holt, Travion Ford, because he was a in and out kind of guy. One player that I will say I'm glad did not end up on the list of any type of awards, and this is the elephant in the room, is my quarterback Tucker Gleason.
Yeah, because he started off so strong, and then he just kind of self-destructed. I know you benched him like midway through the season or towards the end of it.
So with about 4 games left in the season, he was throwing interceptions left and right, and he finished with 18 interceptions, 40 touchdowns, over 4,500 passing yards. but you can't excuse those 18 interceptions. So I put my freshman quarterback in, Caleb Osborne, and he had 10 interceptions himself. That just goes to show how the interception rate is in this game. But Osborne, 2,000 passing yards on his own, 16 touchdowns. You know, it's a bright future for my quarterback position with Caleb Osborne. He's only going to get better. Now, I know I recruited a quarterback, and, you know, let's just say there's probably going to be a quarterback battle in Toledo in Season 2.
That should be fun to see how that pans out. I mean, yeah, if you go to the Broyles Award, your defensive coordinator, Mike Holloway, wins it, but the second place is your offensive coordinator, Ty Davison. So even with switching quarterbacks, he was still able to get your offensive going, man. I mean, I did the same thing with mine. Like, you could look at Nate Johnson's stats. He doesn't have a lot of interceptions, but I wasn't winning with them when I needed to. So finally, I got tired of it. I said, I need to change. The stats don't show it, but put Drew Dickey in there eventually, and that was my guy to end the year with.
I mean, when you look at the statistics of my offense, going back to my wide receivers, Jerjuan Newton, I mean, 3,100 yards, he had 30 touchdowns. And then you go to Stevens, and he had 74 catches for over 1,616 touchdowns. Their average rack yards is only 0.1 apart. Newton had 7.1. Stevens had 7 flat. You know,
yep.
And that just goes to show that Stevens can definitely be a WR1 going into, you know, year 2. And he could possibly be in the running as well for a Heisman Trophy. There's a chance that I can end up having him in a Heisman Trophy. My quarterback situation, you know, whether it's going to be Osborne or my recruit taking over, could end up there. It all depends on how that quarterback battle ends up. And I'm hoping that, you know, my junior running back, Willie Shaw III, you know, has a strong showing, because I'm not only losing Jaquez Storm, but I'm also losing Chris Paycheck. They're both senior running backs. And they didn't share the carries as much. Storm had 221. Paycheck only had 23 throughout the year. But Paycheck had 4 touchdowns. He was my goal line, you know, push to get a first down type of guy. Or Stort, you know, was a 2-down back, got most of the yards, got most of the touchdowns when he broke away.
I know how you feel. Like, both of my running backs, Cedric Alexander and McKillen Young, are sophomores, but I'm going to encourage, because you can do that in this game, I'm going to encourage Alexander to transfer, because he's not going to be my starter. Their stats were almost identical. I mean, Alexander's was 80 carries, 494 yards, 5 touchdowns. McKillen Young, 59 carries, 476 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Essentially, Young outplayed him. So, and just like Nate Johnson, he's a junior. I'm going to encourage him to transfer. He had 27 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. But I put in Dickey, 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Their stats are almost identical, but I just felt better with Dickey as my quarterback. One good thing about my squad is Micah Bell is a sophomore, so I hope I have him for 2 more years. But other than that, I'm not losing anybody too bad. I'm losing Darian Wiley. He had 409 yards, 5 touchdowns. But other than that, one of my short yardage go-to guys, Quincy Skinner Jr., I'm going to lose him, 303 yards and 7 touchdowns. But my receiving core should be intact for the most part, so I'm looking forward to that next year.
I mean, one of my big concentrations when it came to recruiting on my defensive side of the ball, and you know me, I love playing defense.
Yeah.
Was the left side of my defensive line. I mean, Holt had 13 sacks. Peters had 10.5. They're both on the right side.
Yeah.
And what I'm very comfortable with is Peters is a junior. You know, he's going into his second year as a senior. So, strong showing by him. he should be up there and possibly, be an All-American and possibly win Defensive End of the Year. Travion Ford, he's a sophomore. He's the left side. So he had 8 sacks this year. Hopefully, things pick up for him. I've been debating whether I wanted to move him to the right side because he is a very quick defensive end. But the right side is just a little stronger. That's where I got most of my interceptions, too, was on that right side of the defense out in the open field. So it just goes to show the right side of my defense was a lot stronger. And my concentrations are on the left side of my defense going in. One more elephant in the room, though, that I need to talk about is Luke Paulak, my kicker. I'm so glad that he is graduating, and he is a senior. 10 field goals made out of 26.
I saw that. Yeah, I wasn't good at kicking in this game either. I didn't even trust my kicker for extra points.
Extra points, 70 out of 75. Not bad. The bad part about this, Michael Denning, my backup kicker, is also a senior. So did I recruit a kicker? Yes, I did.
I did the same thing. I mean, Brock Taylor, on paper, he's a sophomore. He's my kicker. His numbers aren't bad. He was 3 for 4. Longest field goal was a 39-yarder. I only tried to make easy field goals with him because I didn't trust his leg. His extra points, 12 for 13. But at the same time, I don't trust his leg for far field goals. So I actually do have another kicker being recruited too because my other kicker, Will Ferris, is a senior, so he's going to be leaving.
Well, Paulak, the good thing with Paulak is 8 of those 10 field goals and that 46-yarder that I made was late in the season when I got used to how to kick.
Oh, I'm still trying to get used to that. I miss the Madden meter. I like it a lot better than this setup.
Yeah, I agree with that. And just to give a little sneak peek, the meter in Madden this year for 25, because I played a demo of it, is a lot easier. It's the same as last year. So
I miss the arch. I don't want to see an arrow. I want to see the angle arch to really help me figure out if I'm going to make the kick or not.
I agree.
This is the old school college football kick meter. I get why they did it, because this is how it used to be back in the day, but it's not 2014 anymore.
One thing I do want to talk about as a coach, though, was the offers that I got from other schools.
Are you taking any? Because on the last episode, I said I have 2 years left with Vanderbilt. I feel like I have unfinished business, not making the playoffs, not being ranked, getting to a bowl but winning. But I'm going to stick with them probably for my next 2 seasons and then see where I'm at and then decide where I'm going to go, if I'm going to leave or not.
So I'm guessing on the last episode you left it in limbo about whether I was going to a new school or not.
Basically what I said, since I know it's not out yet, but I basically said I don't think you're going to leave because of how well you did with Toledo, making the playoffs, but I kind of feel like you feel the same way, like you have unfinished business with your school too.
So I got offers from Florida State. I got offers from North Carolina. I got offers from other big schools that lost their head coaches. We get into the second round of offers, and those offers are slim picking. My offers were Bowling Green, Kent State, Louisiana, Jackson State, Texas State, USF, Liberty, and then as a defensive coordinator, Jackson State. My best offers that is saying that it would be a better situation, a job upgrade, is Fresno State and Wake Forest. But with that being said, I will be back in Toledo for season 2 because I have unfinished business, because I need to make it to the national championship, and not only that, I need to hoist that trophy.
Yeah, I'm a couple steps behind you. I need to first get there. That's my goal right now, is to win the SEC and get there. I do want to win the national championship at some point, but I'm taking this one step at a time.
Well, with the way my team is set up right now, I think I'm in a good situation to where I can get Toledo over that hump and get to the national title game.
Cool. And I have no doubt that you're going to get there, probably before me, unless I can get this team turned around quicker than I'm hoping for. Anything else you want to discuss before I advance it?
No, I'm good to go. I'm ready to move forward. Let's see who wins the national championship, and let's get into season 2.
All right, here we go. Oh, and it looks like it's Miami and Clemson. I called it. In the national championship. For all the marbles, number 7 Clemson and number 5 Miami will meet for the biggest game in college football. And in real life, I'm a West Virginia and Florida State fan, so this is the conference championship game. I mean, the national championship game that I would never, ever want to see, because I don't like either one of these teams. But I would cheer for Miami because I hate Clemson more.
I would have to go with Miami just because Clemson eliminated me.
Let's take a look and actually see what those scores were. We have Clemson sliding by Michigan 24-23 to win the Cotton Bowl, and Miami overpowering Texas Tech. I figured their luck was going to run out, and it did. 35-17 to win the Orange Bowl, setting up Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta, Georgia. Number 7 Miami taking on number 4 Clemson. Okay.
Let's do it. Let's see who wins it.
All right, let's go. Advance. All right. Doesn't look like there's any more stories. It doesn't look like there's really anything else. I don't have any coach coins to spend. All right, let's move on. We already did our season recap before we did all the advancing. Onward.
Well, just to let you know, there is a national champion.
Oh, I forgot to check.
Clemson defeated.
Who was it?
Clemson won 42-7.
Oh, wow, Miami got stomped. I completely forgot to check. Oh, I got players leaving. Who's leaving me? Let's see.
So, yeah, I got...
Oh, no, Langston Patterson wants to leave. I need to persuade him to stay. He tore it up for me as a middle linebacker.
So I'm actually losing a lot of players.
Oh, he's not persuaded. I lost Langston Patterson. Cedric Alexander wants to transfer. I'm going to let him leave.
So I didn't lose any.
Yeah.
I didn't lose any quarterbacks. Bryce McMahon, Chris Pichek, and Jacquez Stort all graduated as running backs. Jerjuan Newton, he is heading into the draft. He's projected as a 3rd rounder. Terrence White graduated. My tight end, Anthony Torres, graduated. My left tackle, Alan Jones Jr., graduated. My right guard, Will Holiday, each transferring. And Jacob James graduated. Left end, DeAndre Rajan, he graduated. Darius Alexander and Kayvon Butler, my 2 defensive tackles, graduated. Deshaun Holt graduated, my right end.
Yeah.
My middle linebacker, Jackson Barrow, graduated. My right outside linebacker, Daniel Bolden and Lance Dixon, graduated.
Yeah, you got a lot of people.
My cornerback, Zeke Blake and Andre Fuller, both graduated. My free safety, Jadarius Perkins, graduated. Maxon Hook, my strong safety, he's heading into the draft. He's projected as a 7th rounder. And then my kickers, Michael Denning and Luke Polak, both graduated. And that is the list of players I'm losing.
Are you going to try to persuade Will Holiday to stay?
I am. I did.
And then on my side of the fence, I lost Langston Patterson. That sucks, man. He had I think 99 tackles for me. He was all over the field. Alexander can go. Let's see if I can get this freshman free safety Dante Carter to stay. He's staying. Good. Sophomore cornerback Martell Height. He's staying. Oh no, Micah Bell wants to transfer. No, 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 please stay. Oh good, he's staying. Excellent. Right tackle sophomore Mizael Sandoval. He's leaving. Bye-bye. Left end junior Darren Agu. Let's see, what are you gonna do? Oh, he's staying. Quarterback Dylan Carter. Oh, he stayed. Okay. And left guard sophomore Cooper Starks. Oh, he decided to stay too. I'm actually only losing one player to the draft, and that is my strong safety CJ Taylor. He's projected to be a 5th rounder. So we'll see how that goes.
So it doesn't show any updates as far as our rosters, because I looked at our rosters for depth chart, and I haven't seen yet any of my recruits. So I think we'll see that next.
All right, yeah, we haven't had National Signing Day yet. We just had verbal commitments. Oh, I got Angel Alba, right guard, 2-star. He recruited. He committed. That's what I'm talking about.
I got 2 new running backs coming in. Marcus Randall and Alex Vicker. Randall's a 1-star, Vicker is a 2-star. I got quarterback Ben Coker coming in as a 3-star. Tevin Ojabu, he's a free safety, he's a 1-star. 3-star right tackle Frederick Leach. ATH, I don't know what ATH is, but
I'm not sure.
Afa Maffey, he's a 3-star, and I got Kiki Kluey, strong safety, as a 3-star coming in. Actually,
Wow.
Maffey and Kluey are still deciding, but everybody else signed.
Cool. I'm looking at the transfer portal right now, seeing who all can go after who. Seeing who's all in there, I should say. If there's anybody I want to go after.
That's what I'm going to look at now.
Let's see here. Okay, I'm 3rd on this outside linebacker from Memphis's list, so I think I'm going to try to go after him. Eli Herring, he's a 4-star. I'm his 3rd intention. Let's add him to my recruiting board. I need a new middle linebacker because I lost Patterson, a 2-star from Memphis, 7th. A 2-star from Appalachian State, Jaden Bethia. I'm his 2nd on his school list. I don't think I can really replace him with a 2-star, but it'll add depth anyway, so I'm going to go after him. What about you?
So I'm looking at the portal right now. A lot of guys are locked up.
I'm a 4-star running back out of UAB, 68 rated overall. I'm 1st on his list to transfer to. I gotta go after that. I'm number 1 on his list. Ooh, I'm 1st on the number 4 ranked recruits wide receiver too out of Stanford. I gotta go after him. At least some of these top guys want to play for me.
Yeah, I don't have anybody who's interested
Tate
in me.
Rodemaker. That was Florida State's backup quarterback in real life last season who transferred. I'm 3rd on his list. Get out of here. I'm half tempted to get him and make him my starter.
Okay, now the transfer portal opened up for me. Now I can look.
Yeah, I'm going to go after Rodemaker. He's the number 67 ranked recruit. I'm going to go after him just to see what the heck. Honestly, I'm only going after guys who I'm in their top 3. I'm not, at this point, I'm not trying to do a war at the end of the year with teams. First on this Temple defensive tackle, 490 recruit. Let's throw him on there. Why not? I'm first on his list. I lost him to Ole Miss. He was a gem. But I got my fullback that I was after. I got quite a few new people to my list here. Got the kicker I was going after. Excellent.
I got a new 3-year contract offered to me.
Cool.
As a head coach. So some of the players from the transfer portal that I'm going after. Anthony Walter, quarterback from Nevada.
Okay.
I'm going after him. I'm also going after, let's see here. Okay, I can't switch it to that. I'm going after Nolan McCormick, running back out of the University of Ohio. Defensive end. I know I'm targeting defensive end. Right end, Cade Costas from Central Michigan. I'm also targeting, he's an outside linebacker, Darius Thomas from Western Kentucky. I'm also going after safeties, Antonio Gaskin from Illinois, Dale-Sean Staley from San Diego State. I'm targeting cornerback Earl Culp from Purdue. Right outside linebacker Xavier Atkins from LSU. I'm also going after Chadrick Queen from Oklahoma, wide receiver.
Awesome. I'm going to take a look at the top recruiting classes right now. And right now, Georgia has the top class with 29 total recruits and 258.75 points. Miami with 34 recruits, 257.80 recruits. And Texas gets the bronze at 245.25 points. Let's see where we are on this list. Mike, I hate to tell you, buddy, but you are 134 ranked with 5 total recruits, 48.95 points. So I hope you can get some more recruits. And I am 67 with 11 recruits and 130 points. Ironically tied with UAB, who I beat in my bowl game. They also have 130 points.
Well, just to say that I was going after positions that I know I needed.
Yeah.
The difference between this is I didn't have the mindset like I would in Madden as far as depth, because it's already there.
Yeah. Well, my strong safety, CJ Taylor, went in the 4th round of the draft. So you're done with all the transfer portal and recruiting?
Yes. Good to go.
Okay, perfect. I'll advance it then.
Nobody has yet to sign with me. No updates. One thing I'll say this is these players are making me work for it, for them to sign with me.
Yeah.
But whether they sign with me or not, where I'm at in the rankings with recruiting and all that stuff, it's going to be an uphill battle. It's going to be a challenge, and I'm going to be able to show and prove that Toledo is to be a team to wreck with. A little bit of an update. Afa Maffey has made me as his first school, the ATH position.
Cool.
Strong safety Kiki Kluey made me as his first school, his interest strong safety.
Good.
Nolan McCormick made me his second school. He's the running back, right outside linebacker. Darius Thomas made me his second. Antonio Gaskin, strong safety, made me his first. Other strong safety, Dale-Sean Staley. I'm not on his list. Right end, Cade Costas made me his first. Quarterback,
Cool.
Anthony Walter. I'm not on his list. Cornerback Earl Culp, I'm first on his list. Right outside linebacker Xavier Atkins, I'm first on his list. And then wide receiver Chadwick Queen, I did not make his list, but I'm about to, let's just say I'm going to send the house and see what we get moving forward.
Well, I am ready to advance whenever you are.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, let's do it. All right, I got 3-star recruit cornerback Kevin Cedar. And I got 3-star right tackle Calvin Landry.
So none of my recruits yet signed with me, but everybody on my list has updated their interests. Nolan McCormick, I'm in his top 3. I'm the second place. Right outside linebacker Darius Thomas, I'm second place. And then everybody else that I'm recruiting moved me into first place, even Chadwick Queen, the wide receiver.
That's awesome. I got locked out of Elijah Herring, so I will not be able to get him. The 4-star right outside linebacker. I'm third on the 4-star running back Lee Beebe Jr. It doesn't look like I'm going to get him. It looks like it's going to go between Florida State and LSU. I really want Tate Rodemaker because he was a Seminole last year. But I'm third on his list, and it looks like it's going to be between Duke and Florida State. So he might be going back to the Seminoles, or he might be a Blue Devil. And I got locked out of 3-star left end, Braden Page. He's signed with Troy, it looks like. So, yep, I lost out on him. All right, what can I do here? You're visiting week 3. I'm already sending the house. I can hard sell you now. So let's take this off. Hard sell. Sending the house with you. Still need to learn about him. Still need to learn about him. I can start hard selling him. My original plan was to take the quarterback that I recruited and make him a true freshman starter, but the way Drew Dickey played for me, I might actually just let him play out his senior year and redshirt my quarterback that I recruited. I hate hard selling. I never can find the one that has all 3 check marks right away. Alright, I'm already hard selling you. I'm already hard selling you. No, I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, cool. On to week 4 of 4. Oh, I got 2-star recruit middle linebacker Jordan Bethea. 2-star recruit defensive tackle Reggie Jones.
Nobody has signed with me yet. Xavier Atkins moved me down to second on his list, right outside linebacker.
Oh no.
Anthony Walter moved me up to first place, the quarterback. Cade Costas moved me up to first place. And Nolan McCormick, I'm still in second place. It looks like hopefully my visit in week 3 can persuade him before he goes to going to another school. Looks like Marshall, I believe.
All right, anything I can do with you guys here? No. No. Still sending the house with him. Still sending the house with him. Still sending the house with him. All right, yeah, I'm ready to go whenever you are.
I'm ready. I can't do anything else.
Here we go. Oh, I got 4-star wide receiver Eric Manor. I'll take it. He's the guy from Haiti, I think. Oh, Rodemaker committed to Duke. The other 4-star halfback committed to LSU. I did get the 4-star tight end that I was looking for. And the 3-star right end committed to Michigan State that I was trying to get. Do you have any updates?
Yes. So, starting with players that signed with other teams, running back Nolan McCormick did sign with Marshall. Right outside linebacker Darius Thomas signed with Syracuse. And the right outside linebacker Xavier Atkins signed with TCU. Wide receiver Chadwick Queen is a Toledo Rocket. Cornerback Earl Colt is a Toledo Rocket. Quarterback Anthony Walter. Right end Kate Costas. Strong safety Dale-Sean Staley. Strong safety Antonio Gaskin. And strong safety Kiki Kluey, our Toledo Rockets.
Nice. Good. You got quite a few people. And I'm looking at the top classes again. Miami has jumped into first place with 258.15. He's actually tied. They have Miami 1, Georgia 2, but they have the same amount of points, 258.15. So I'm going to say Miami and Georgia were first. Texas is second with 242.10. And Auburn is third with 241.50.
And I moved up to 120.
That's awesome. So you moved up to 120. Oh, I dropped down to 72 with 155 points. That's all right. I made the top 75 in recruiting class. I'll take that for an unranked team. Am I good to advance?
So I do have one issue.
Okay.
I don't have a kicker.
Oh no!
This is bad.
Your punter might have to do double duties. You didn't go after a kicker?
I did not.
Go see if you can try to get one.
Well, you can't sign a kicker. There's no free agency.
Yeah, but you can still add them to your recruiting list and try to get them. I don't know how well it's going to work this stage in the game, but your punter's going to have to do double duties.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there is.
There's plenty of
kickers
kickers still there. Yeah, I just checked. There's plenty of them. I'm really tempted to do custom conferences and bring back the Pac-12. Because it annoys me that there's two teams in there. Now that custom conferences is up and I can change that. Would you be alright with that?
Yeah.
I want to get rid of all these independent teams, so I'm going to go ahead and put Notre Dame in the ACC. Because that's where they play basketball. UMass is about to join the MAC, I think, in 2025, so I'm going to go ahead and put them in the MAC. And UConn, I'll put UConn in the Conference USA.
Bring them to the MAC. I'll take care of them.
UConn to the MAC?
Yeah, I'll take care of them.
I was going to say that. Well, I moved UMass to the MAC, so the MAC has 13 schools now. So I'm going to keep them in there because the Conference USA has 11. Because like I said, UMass is joining in like 2025 or 2026. So I moved them there early. So now nobody's independent. Everybody is in a conference. Okay, cool. All right. I am ready to advance if you are.
Yep.
Awesome. So we're now in the preseason 2025. Here are the top stories. The early Heisman watch is number 1 is Ismail Mahdi. Number 2 is Ashton Gentry. Number 3 is Quinn Ewers. Number 4 is Nico Iamaleava from Tennessee. I actually like him as a quarterback. And number 5 is Dijon Stribling. That is the early Heisman watch. Quinn Ewers from Texas has been named preseason first-team All-American. Boise State running back Ashton Gentry, preseason first-team All-American. And Texas State halfback Ismail Mahadi, preseason first-team All-American. Let's actually take a look and see who else was it. It doesn't look like Vanderbilt or Toledo has any first team for the national. Let's take a look at the second team. We have no second teamers. Okay, I'm gonna look at the MAC first team. Here we go. We have wide receiver Junior Vandervost III from Toledo. Wide receiver Larry Stevens from Toledo. And Toledo's actually preseason ranked 21.
Yep.
Center Maddox Marcotte. Left end Trevarian Ford. Right end Jeremiah Peters. You got a lot of people. Cornerback Avery Smith. Free safety Emmanuel McNeil Warren. And punter Emilio Duran are all first team MAC preseason All-Americans, and the second preseason team All-Americans for the MAC are wide receiver Jaden Doughton, center Ethan Spock, right guard Jackson Cannon, defensive tackle Eshawn Carter, defensive tackle Martez Pointner, middle linebacker Damon Ollison II are the MAC preseason second team All-Americans. Let's check the SEC. And Vanderbilt has no first team preseason All-Americans. And Vanderbilt has no second team preseason All-Americans. All right. Starting off the year right.
And Toledo is the only ranked team in the MAC.
I believe it. Y'all ended ranked. And the preseason top 25 right now. Clemson number 1, Georgia number 2, Miami 3, Michigan 4, Texas A&M 5, Ohio State 6, NC State 7, Virginia Tech 8, Oklahoma State 9, Alabama 10, Oregon 11, Florida 12, Texas Tech 13, LSU 14, Utah 15, Ole Miss 16, Auburn 17, Baylor 18, Boston College 19, Memphis 20, Mike's Toledo Rockets 21. Oh, I'm ranked! Holy smokes! Syracuse 22, Michigan State 23, Vanderbilt 24. All right, I'll take it. And Charlotte 25 rounds up the preseason top 25. I'll take it. I didn't even notice that I was ranked 24. All right. Are you doing anything with the recruiting?
Not right now. I will start when the season starts.
Okay, well then I'll do the same thing. All right, so are you ready to advance?
Yep.
Okay. All right, week 0. I am on a bye week. Do you have a game?
Nope. I'm on a bye week.
All right, just out of curiosity, I want to see who the week 0 games are, just for shits and giggles. Oh, we actually have quite a few. Ball State at UConn, Fresno State at Kansas, FCS Northwest at Wisconsin, number 23 Michigan State at number 13 Texas Tech, Boise State Notre Dame, UCF Maryland, and Stanford at Hawaii. All right, those are our week 0 games, and I think this is where we're going to wrap up, because this episode was all about recapping year 1 2024 and doing the off season. So good luck to you, Mike. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Toledo heading to the national championship. Be ready to see it.
All right. Good luck to you. And this season, I'm going to try to get you on more than just at the end. Maybe do like a quarter of the way, middle season, 3/4 of the way, and then end of the season thing. I want to get you on more because I can't get your game, so I want to get your input at least.
Always available. You know it.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for coming on. I definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, buddy. If you like this video, guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss what the Commodores or the Rockets are going to do this season. Who knows? It might be a Vanderbilt Toledo national championship game. Maybe we meet in the playoffs. Who knows? But you got to be notified to find out. So click that bell. Be safe, everybody. Johnny H. out.